Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. Even though we're not in the mood for talking Chelsea today, it is the January transfer window, which means Chelsea transfer news, the daily series on the channel. If you do want to go and check out the previous video, the Chelsea news today is uploaded a bit later because I kind of just wanted to get out all of that post-match Middlesbrough foulness in one go, I guess you could say. So check out the previous video from earlier today. I'm done with Pochettino. At this moment in time, I don't see a way that we can move forward with him still in charge. Check out the link at the top of the description or the card up on the screen here. In this news video, we have got 4 topics of conversation today. We've got Alex Howe's report from the BBC talking about Victor Osimhen and Ivan Toney, as you guys keep on correcting me. We're also going to talk about Vangelis Pavlidis, a Greek striker from AZ Alkmaar. Yep, Chelsea are interested in him. Amadou Onana of Everton, and a new left-back because, well, we're loaning out the other one that we've got who's not had a sniff all season long. Going to try and keep things as moving forward as possible. Obviously, whenever Chelsea do lose, the tonality of each video is ever so slightly more negative until we win the next one. So hopefully, we can get a good result against Fulham and then beat Middlesbrough and get to the final. Who knows what we're going to be saying in a week. This is the tumultuous occasion that is being a Chelsea fan. But we first of all begin here. This comes from Alex Howe from BBC Sport. Chelsea will be looking to bring in a forward in the next 2 transfer windows, but it is unlikely they will be spending the huge money needed to land Brentford's Ivan Toney or Victor Osimhen from Napoli. I'm going to try and keep this as short and simple as possible. If for whatever reason Chelsea decide that the days of spending hundreds of millions on strikers or players is over, then we are absolutely screwed for at least a 5 to 10 year period, or unless the owners decide to sell up and someone else takes over Chelsea who has genuine football knowledge and ambition, then I think that if Chelsea don't spend big on a big striker, a proven goal scorer, an elite number 9, then it doesn't matter about the youngsters that we've bought in the past few windows. It doesn't matter about Brazilian wonder kids. Heck, doesn't even matter about Kendrick Paez, who I genuinely do think is going to be an absolute baller for us when he arrives in 2025. Chelsea cannot skimp out with an average striker. We can't just keep on buying nearly players. We can't just keep on going for players that are good and not very good. Manchester City lose a talisman, Sergio Aguero, leaving Pep Guardiola in tears on the pitch just after they lift another title, and then they go and sign Erling Haaland, a man who Frank Lampard wanted to bring to Chelsea, but for whatever reason, we thought Romelu Lukaku was the answer to our problems. Heck, at this point, I think this is probably the only time ever that I might turn my back on a decision such as I never want to see Lukaku play for Chelsea again. If Chelsea are going to be buying more unproven average strikers from leagues that aren't proven and they don't hit the ground running, then if we can't offload Lukaku, I'm genuinely at a point now as a Chelsea fan where I'd be like, well, maybe he's better than nothing, which is absolute lunacy. But this news that we might not be willing to spend the money, again, I think this is a lot of hearsay. I think there are a lot of opinions. And obviously right now when it comes to Chelsea, if you're looking at it and you're like, oh, Chelsea aren't going to spend the money on Osimhen or Toney, you're interested in this because you're like, well, if we're not going to spend the money on them, then who the bloody hell are they going to spend the money on? Which leads us into the next story of today. This is from Simon Phillips through Mr. Dom Smith. Sounds like your art teacher in school. Chelsea have sent scouts to watch 25-year-old Greek striker Vangelis Pavlidis, who hopes to leave AZ Alkmaar this month. We then go on to see here that AZ Alkmaar are expecting bids for Eredivisie top scorer Vangelis Pavlidis, who hopes to get his big move this month and has been scouted by Chelsea, Fulham, Barcelona and AC Milan in recent weeks. There is a bit of a track record where you see big names from the Eredivisie come to the Premier League and it just doesn't work. I've got 3 names on the top of my head: Hakim Ziyech, Donny van de Beek and Anthony, the man who is absolutely lighting up the sky in Manchester. He's really not. He's been absolutely awful. And I just think at this point in time, there are going to be names of strikers like your Artem Dovbyks from Girona, and now we've got Vangelis Pavlidis, the 25-year-old Greek striker. And Chelsea, we're linked with him, but I think this just keeps on coming back to the same topic of conversation. Chelsea need an elite, proven goal scorer. We need someone that the team can be a bit inspired by. And I think at the moment, there are too many, almost nearly players. There needs to be a genuine talisman brought into this club. I don't know too much about this Pavlidis guy, but I do know that the track record of top Premier League clubs buying top Eredivisie talent, it just doesn't really work. Mohamed Kudus, by the way, unbelievable. So there is an exception to the rule once in a while. Let me know your thoughts if you know anything about Pavlidis in the comments down below. We move. Chelsea are in the race with Arsenal, this is quite interesting, to sign Everton midfielder Amadou Onana, according to Newsblad Sport. Don't know where the bloody hell that is from. So Onana is a player that I've watched this season for Everton, and I'm like, this guy is actually what we wanted Enzo and Caicedo to be. He's a genuine warrior in the midfield. He absolutely controls the play for Everton. He's been fantastic. There's just, right now, at this moment in time, there is very little that I can do to get myself optimistic about Chelsea not ruining players when we sell them. And I think Amadou Onana works so well at Everton because he's got a disciplined manager in Sean Dyche giving him the guidance, telling him what to do. And within that system, it absolutely works. So right now, when I see players like Onana, who I actually look at in the Premier League and I'm like, you're actually a really solid Premier League midfielder. I'm like, I don't even know if I want them to come to Chelsea just for the sake of their own careers. And as well as that, isn't this just further proof that the whole Caicedo Enzo thing just hasn't really worked, or it's currently not working? And it's difficult to know where we're at here with certain players. I think Onana is rumoured to be a target for Chelsea if we sell Conor Gallagher. Gallagher doesn't want to leave. Pochettino doesn't want Gallagher to leave. I don't think Gallagher's going to leave. So there is a world where there could be a massive revamp here at Chelsea. There is a world where these owners are like, right, we've spent badly. Let's get rid of a load of them, whilst there is still some kind of value in some of these players, and let's try again. Let's maybe not go and spend 100 million on 5 different youngsters. Let's try and buy one experienced player. That's kind of what we're looking for at the moment, but Onana is a good player. Wouldn't mind this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. The final story is regarding Ian Maatsen, and Chelsea are considering a left-back signing if he leaves permanently in the summer. Ben Chilwell is due back soon, but Cucurella is still on crutches after ankle surgery. Look, at this moment in time, there is just a bundle of different reasons why Chelsea will need to recruit across the field in all areas once again. You look at the bench against Middlesbrough, and you're looking at that, and you're like, half of these players just haven't played for Chelsea before. If they have, it's been for 5 minutes. You spend all that money, but yet still there is no depth in this squad. Levi Colwill is the culprit, or one of the culprits. There's a bunch of them for the Middlesbrough goal that goes in. He's not a left-back. He's playing in left-back. He's supposed to be a top centre-back for the future, but he's playing in left-back. So I find it absolutely ludicrous that when you've still got players playing out of position, Chelsea have even allowed Ian Maatsen to leave in this January transfer window. For me, it's absolutely mind-boggling that we don't have that kind of protection at left-back, because Ben Chilwell is an incredibly injury-prone player. Marc Cucurella has not been good enough so far at his time at Chelsea, and he's also on crutches. Like, yes, there is an injury crisis. Yes, there are big questions that can be asked about what it is in the grass at Cobham that just keeps on putting people on the sidelines. But the fact of the matter is, we can't even manage the personnel that we have at the club when we actually have them there in the first place anyway. Ian Maatsen hasn't had a look in under Pochettino, was great in pre-season, but then hasn't been used since, hasn't even been given an opportunity. And you can't tell me, when you look at the performances that we have seen on the whole this season, that Pochettino is seeing something so bad in Ian Maatsen in training that means he's not better than some of the dross that we have seen in the atrocity matches that we have witnessed so far this season. All in all, A new left back? Yeah, we probably do need it, to be honest, because Ben Chilwell will come back, and I tell you now, he will get injured again. We just know it by this point, and it's not me, like, wishing this upon him. Absolutely not, of course. I don't wish an injury upon any player, even if they play for Spurs. But the fact of the matter is, I totally believe that Chelsea need a revamp everywhere. After what I've seen against Middlesbrough, once again, I know this is the day after now, I am wearing the same top as I was because I'm in the office, and it was 4 AM, 6 AM when I made the 6 Things We Learned video. I'm still not over it. You know, I think, as I said in the previous video here on the channel, there's just so much wrong. And it's not all just Pochettino. I think he's definitely not helping. It's just the players as well. They're just simply not good enough. So, if we want Chelsea back somewhere near the top, we're going to need a lot more, which is mad when we've already spent that much money. Let me know your thoughts on today's Chelsea news in the comments down below. I'll see you guys later.